Hello, hello, hello. I am so happy to be back. And I have not used this Zoom, not Zoom, I've not used this Facebook Live in several weeks now. I think, in fact, the last time that we got together was the end of June because we were off for the 4th of July. And can anybody hear me or see me? I want to get started, and we're going to be finished very soon. I hope you can hear me or see me, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We were off for several weeks, and for that reason, some of you may have forgotten that Facebook Live, Sunday's Best. Marva didn't forget. Welcome, Marva. So we're not going to do a real review of what we talked about the last time, but I hope that you guys had a great 4th of July, that you met with family and friends and had a good time, that you had a reunion, a family reunion, a school reunion, just something to have fun. So, hello, Faye. And I'm just going to share with you a little bit about what I've been doing over the past couple of weeks. Um, Hi, Vivian. We went to take my granddaughter to visit Brown University. She was taking a pre-college course there on how lawyers think. And so we stayed for a week. And while we were there, we went to Martha's Vineyard. And we haven't been to Martha's Vineyard in about 20 years. And it's funny how you live near something, because we lived in Connecticut for a little over 13 years. And we didn't visit Martha's Vineyard until we moved to South Carolina and went back there for a trip. But nonetheless, it was beautiful. And I shared some of the photos with you. And it was so good to see that and to know the history, the rich history that a lot of minorities, Black families, still own businesses there, as well as their homes. And those homes were very, very different than anything that you would see in the Columbia area. Now, a few of them you would see in the downtown area. So it was refreshing. And the campus at Brown was very nice. And so that's what I did. And then I came back and started to work. So, welcome back to Sunday's Best. And I want to tell you that half of the year is over. And this second half, we're going to be exploring, sharing some phenomenal information with you. And I always said that if there's something that you want to know more about, all you have to do is inbox me. But tonight, we're going to talk about mindset. There's good mindset, there's poor mindset, and then there's terrible mindset. And so I read a little bit. Well, actually, I've been reading a lot. I picked up two new books. And one of the books that I already had on my shelf talked about mindset, the psychology of success. And it says that since the beginning of time, people have thought differently, and we're supposed to, acted differently, and fared off differently from each other. It is guaranteed that someone will ask you the question, why are you different? You may have a different mindset. And it's often been said, what's in a person's mind's eye is most of the time what they're going to focus on and what they're going to do. So I was listening to I was listening to Dr. Darius Davis, I think, Daniels. And he was delivering a message. And I thought, you know what? I have the same problem with the business that I'm in. And so we're going to talk a little bit about his topic, but it's a totally different message. And so people are different. People's mindset is different. And when he was delivering what he had to deliver, I thoroughly was blessed by it. And so I'm sharing it from a different angle, from a different lens, not from a pastoral point or a preaching point. It's from a very different point. So, we're going to talk about mindset matters. And then we're going to get into, and you want to get your pen and paper for this one. Okay? We're going to talk about the 5 types of people that you cannot help. And you know why? Because of their mindset. And oftentimes we wear ourselves out trying to either change the way somebody thinks, the way they live, but there are people that you actually cannot help because of their mindset. So, for me, when I was thinking about how this parallels to my profession, you might ask, as a realtor, what does your ideal client looks like? Well, it's 2 or 3 different sets of clients because real estate has different niches. And so if I'm looking for a first-time home buyer, of course, I'm always looking for somebody who's ready, willing, and able. And when we talk about the 5 types of people you can't help, you will see why if you find a person that's ready, willing, and able to work with you or to be your client, you're far better off than somebody that you really can't help. And by the end of this 30 minutes, I'll tell you exactly why. So my ideal client for first-time home buyers, I'm looking for somebody that, number one, can buy, credit worthiness. The age group is probably going to be 25 to about 55 because most people are buying their first home by that time. And somebody that's motivated to buy. So ready, willing, and able. Because I can have a client, I can say, I'm looking for a $300,000 buyer because the average price right now is $250,000. But if that person makes 6 figures, there's no guarantee that they're ready because of credit, that they're able because of the limited amount of debt. So ideally, you want certain things to be in order. Now, when I'm teaching a boot camp, I'm looking for people who probably have already owned their first home and are looking to buy income producing properties or to flip properties for cash buildup or equity. And so those people are probably not going to be your 25-year-olds. They're going to probably be 50 and over, all right? Because by that time, they have found a way to own a home and to have some reserves in the way or in the form of emergency fund so that when they invest with me, ideally, they will have money in an account called my investment account or my retirement account or my grow more account, or they're ready to be fruitful and multiply their money. So ideally, you may be looking for, depending on your business, you may be looking for a different kind of clientele than I'm looking for. So how many of you have almost worn yourself thin trying to help somebody that you know needs help, but you can't seem to reach them for whatever reason. So that's what we're going to talk about. And I want to throw this in there. Mindset. If you have a poor mindset, it's usually followed by negativity and by thinking that you're in lack. I mean, those just go together. If you are thinking negative all the time, you have rarely had an opportunity to learn anything about financial literacy. So we say, we're in a season right now. And so, what is financial literacy? And I'm going to tie that into why you can't help some people. How you think, sometimes what you were taught, sometimes where you came from, whether you can have a different mindset, and that different mindset can set you up to do things that the average person may not be able to do because they just can't wrap their head around it. So when it comes to financial literacy, being financially literate means that you have an understanding of a few core areas. And I'm going to name about 5 or 6 of those areas that we need to be financially literate in. Our mindset needs to be wrapped around it. And if we waste too much time with people that we cannot change or trying to change situations that we can't change, then we're going to miss a good opportunity. So, Trish, thank you for being on. And Marie says, good Pastor Daniels. And you know, I just happened to pull up YouTube after listening to Rima and Daniel say, Rima and Jamal saying that they had a 3-night workshop. So I said, who's this guy? And the first person that popped up on YouTube, that was the person. And this was the message. Being financially literate is knowing how to budget your money, knowing how to set financial goals, knowing how to pay your bills and how to save and how to pay yourself, understanding how credit works and how debt inhibits, and knowing how investments work. Those things are like the 1, 2, 3s of financial literacy. And most people that don't know or don't have this knowledge yet, they tend to be a little bit more negative, a little bit more hard to bring along. If you invited them to this call, they would probably find a reason not to come. And I found through the years, if I say the millionaire mindset, people say, oh no, that's not me. She ain't got nothing to tell me. And that's not the truth. You need to know that somebody knows more than you, somebody has more than you, and instead of blaming or finger pointing or hating or player hating, you need to find out, how do they do that? How do they do it? And if it's legitimate, if it's legal, it might be something I want to know about too, because it seems to be helping them. So you need to have your mindset not about competition all the time, but about collaboration and about sharing and about learning and about sitting under somebody else's feet until you get it right. Because you won't always be able to run. Sometimes you have to crawl. And you have to master the crawl before you can just get out and run ahead of everybody else. So, financial literacy. So it says that how to condition the mind so that it can grow. How do you do that? The mindset is how you think and how you act. That's how you define mindset. How you think and how you act. And how you think and how you act is your attitude. And Pastor Jackson is doing a series on attitude. And today it was on the attitude of being nice, hospitality. And so your mindset is how receptive you are to receiving information and who you will receive that information from. So, word to the wise. When you're trying to help somebody, first figure out what you're working with, because that's going to determine whether you can get through to them or not. All right? So I see that we've got some more people on, and I want everybody to participate or ask me questions. Libby, thank you for being on. Mary Louise, thank you for being on. And I know that there's some others. So let me first tell you that there are 5 types of people you can't help until their mindset changes. The first one is you can't help people who don't realize they need help. That's number 1. Number 2, you cannot help people who know they need help, but they don't want it. Number 3, you cannot help people who don't want it yet. And I'm going to go deeper into that. You cannot help people who don't want it from you. It's a mindset. And number 5, you can't help people who aren't willing to do what it takes to get what they want. So whether I'm selling dinners, whether I'm a hairstylist, whether I own my own business, whether I'm a real estate agent, you got to know who your ideal client is and who you can help and who you can't help. All right? So I'm going to go over those 5, but I'm going to tell you something about each one of them. Okay, so mindset. Remember the mindset. Number 1, I repeat, you cannot help people who don't realize they need help. So don't you know that these people, they don't know where they're headed, but they don't want to follow you, and they don't want to listen to you. All right? So when you find a person that you're trying to help and they don't realize they need help, until their mindset changes, you can't help them. When people settle and become complacent and they don't think that there's any further progress they can make, they have settled in for the mindset, they have bought into it, they become complacent, feeling they'll become critical of other people simply because they don't realize that they need help. So, have you ever worn yourself out? I mean, those of you who have children even, or friends, or family members, or somebody that you know needs help in some area, but you've worn yourself thin, and as they say, you talk until you're blue in the face, and they won't make a change. You know why? Because they're one of the people that you just can't help. All right? So, as Pastor Daniel said, you don't throw them away, you give them to God. All right? You let them go up. All right? Instead of in the trash. because you can't change them, because they don't realize that they need help. And another one that I thought about is when I share with someone why it's important to become a homeowner versus a renter. And until they can see how home ownership benefits them, they're going to keep on renting. The rent goes up, so what? They do not see that they need help. The number two person that you can't help, you can't help people who know they need help, but they don't want it. All right? I thought about homeless people. Everybody knows that they need a place to live, right? And that place is called home. That place is called a residence. That's where you lay your head. And the homeless people, no doubt, sometimes it's mental, but other times it's things that they choose to do that they can't do in anybody else's house. If they have substance abuse, alcohol, drug, or, they're into prostitution, or they just came up upon hard times and they've lived with everybody they can, and now they're on the streets. Those people know that they need help, unlike the first class of people that didn't know. So you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. And you can give people your time, your energy, you can give them opportunities, but you can't force them to take it. You can't help a person who know they need help, but they don't want it. And again, just like your children, you can talk and talk and talk. Some of them will listen, some of them won't. There are women that are being battered, and you say, why are you staying there? They know that they need help, but something in the mindset says, it's better that I stay here and take this, because at least I can identify I am part of a marriage or part of a relationship. So, they know they need help, but they don't want it. They'd rather be in that situation. So that's the number two person. The number three, you can't help people who don't want it yet. That's a hard one. They don't want to surrender. They still want to do what they're doing because that feels better than making a change. That takes less effort. So they don't want it yet. You say, aren't you tired? They say, not yet. I got a little bit more to do. I got to sow my wild oats. I got to stay out there on the street a little bit more. I got to make a little bit more money. I got to work that job 10 more years. And you said, can't you see that there's no security in that job? They said, not yet. So you can't help people who don't want it yet. Example is Alcohol Anonymous. It's a fellowship, mutual aid, dedicated and in enabling alcoholics to become sober and stay sober for the rest of their life. And there are a lot of alcoholics that say, I want to get clean. A lot of drug addicts say, I want to get clean. A lot of people that are just doing crime, committing crime. They say someday when I'm finished, I'm done. So they're not ready yet. And so it's hard and that's why with AA for Alcohol Anonymous, that the first thing the person has to commit to is saying, I am an alcoholic. So they have to admit it. And then when they surrender, then they'll have to stop saying, I'm not ready yet, because they have to be accountable when they come to those meetings, and they have accountability partners. So the biggest thing in a person making change is admitting that it's time to make change. Because as long as they use the crutch or the excuse of, I'm not ready yet, they're not going to do it. And you're going to wear yourself out trying to help them. All right? Now, we talked a little bit about financial literacy. And I've been gone for 2 weeks, so I'm trying to put it all together. With finances, people say, I want a better paying job. I want to save more money. But after I get my new car, after I finish doing all the things I want to do, then I'm going to settle down and start saving for retirement. But right now, I ain't doing that yet. All right? So, with marriage, some people say, I'll get married later. I'm not ready for that now. I don't want to settle down with one person. I just want to do my thing right now. And so until that person gets ready, you can't change them. They don't know they need help. They don't know that maybe the situation lying ahead is better for them. Or sometimes they know it, but they're not ready to make the change. So that leads us to the fourth person. We can't help this fourth person who don't want it from you. Mom and dads, we tell our children we can preach to them, but it just takes one person, maybe outside of the family, or a friend, family friend, or a teacher, or someone at church, or someone says something in Sunday school, and they're like, wow, that's what I need to be doing. And you say, you hadn't been listening, because I've been trying to tell you. They've been listening, but they didn't want to hear it from you. And so you can't help a person who doesn't want to hear it from you. All right? So let's see. Genevieve Burgess and Sandra Ellison is watching. Janice King, I really need help with investing. We can talk, all right? Because you already admitting that you need help. And you are asking me, so on number 4, it says you can't help people who don't want it from you. I know that I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of wisdom. I can help a lot of people. I can help new agents get in the business and help them avoid the potholes. I can help the agent that says, I want to see how you made your first million. But you know what? Just like a prophet is not welcome in his own town, there's so many people I can help, but they don't want the help from me. Okay? And so if they don't want it from me and they don't reach out to me, and the same with you. If you know that you are beating your head against the wall trying to help somebody out of a bad situation, you loan them money, you loan them your ear, you give up your sleep trying to think of ways to help them and how to get through. But if they don't want it from you, you're wasting your time. So there is no enforcement code, no handcuffs that you can put on a person to make them receive help from a person that they won't even acknowledge has anything to help them with. So the mindset has to change. And the mindset that they have won't allow you to help them because they keep pushing you away. They won't let you in to the place called mindset. And as long as you throw money at them, throw solutions at them, um, answer the phone every time they want to complain, they're going to use it. But they're not going to take your advice. All right, so number 5. You can't help people who aren't willing to do what it takes to get what they want. So let's think about that one for a while. The person knows that they want something, but they're not willing to do what it takes to get it. You know what their first cop-out is? They think that you think that what you have, you didn't work hard for it. I took a nap, under the ceiling fan, and I shouldn't have done that. But anyway, so they just want to talk. They really don't want to work, but they want what you got. And that leads to words. And usually they become envious of you. They become jealous of you, but they don't want you to help them. But they want what you got, but they're not willing to work for it. And then the jealousy leads to covetousness. And that's when people want your stuff. They don't want one like yours. They want to make sure you don't have one. And these 3 things God frowns on. And so these people, you may as well leave them alone. You may as well lighten your load, because until they know, with all 5 of these, until they know that, number 1, if they want help, they have to be able to receive it. They have to know that they need help, and they have to want it now. All right? If you don't want it now, why am I wasting my time now? All right? And if you don't want it from me, there's somebody else out there, bigger and brighter. Find that person, but get the help that you need from somebody. And again, like I say, number 5, don't hate on other people. Have the mindset that if they got it and I can glean from them the right way to do it, then I can do it too. So, look for opportunities, because when the mindset is open, opportunities will follow. An opportunity is a set of circumstances that make it possible for you to do something. But your mind has to be open, not just your mouth. Your mindset has to say, I can have it. I can do it. I have a purpose. I'm going to live on purpose. And I'm going to get some of the things in life that I want. And I'm willing to work for it. So opportunity is, it can be in employment. It can be a promotion. It can be a career move. You must see it, though. So mindset, you got to see it. Number 1, you got to seize it. Number 2, you got to time opportunity. So when you say, I don't want it yet, you may miss the golden opportunity. And you have to accept whoever it's coming from. Wisdom is wisdom. So open your mind up and be able to receive people. We don't all think alike. We didn't all come to this universe with the same set of skills and talents and gifts and personalities. So if it's not me, or if it's not Janice King, or not Genevieve, or Sandra, or Vivian, or Marva, or anybody on this call, there is somebody that you can glean something from. So be willing to work for it. And in the words of Mary Mary, go get it. So that's what I had for you tonight. The 5 people that you cannot help. And so I don't want you to focus this last half of the year or bog yourself down with trying to help people who don't want it yet. So let's see if we have any questions. Gloria Moore, Vivian says, listen and find out how it works. That's right. Sharon Richardson and Gloria Cooper. And let's see. Wow, who don't want it from you? That's it. People, when people don't realize and they judge before they read the last chapter of the book, they judge the cover. They think you always had it easy. They think you always have it together. And sometimes it's hard to keep it together in terms of, especially if you're in a business, like the last recession. I mean, I felt like it was a wipeout. Like we had done all the right things. And then this gorilla of an economy comes and sucks the very blood out of your finances, out of your, it sucks up your energy. But thank God, because I was passionate about what I did, it didn't touch my passion at all. I just said, God, you brought me this far. I know you didn't bring me here to leave me. And this too shall pass. And it's not personal. I didn't create it. I didn't bring it on myself. And it will pass. Let's see. All right. So thank you all for listening. And we got a lot more to cover. And next time, I won't take a nap under the fan. So have a good night. Have a good life. In fact, have $1 million life. Good night.